So, as I say, I want to talk about nudge today. Not Eric Idle's nudge, nudge, say no more sort of nudge, but more a nudge is as good as a wink nudge, as Eric also once said. But enough Monty Python. What I want to ask today is if giving people a nudge is a proper way to run a public health campaign. It struck me as a potential problem as the rather silly row developed over Christmas parties, with the Prime Minister saying one thing, other ministers saying another, and one minister focusing on snogging. What we were now getting were nudges, hints of a policy, rather than instructions. But with lives at stake, with our hospitals filling up once again, with infection rates rising sharply as a new and as yet not fully understood COVID variant spreads, is that good enough? I think not. My timeline already suggests that many of you disagree with me. That's excellent. That's what we love on this programme, and I want to hear from you. Now, to be clear, and it may surprise some of you, nudge is a real thing in government. It's up there with orders in council, bills, acts, and even the royal prerogative. Its roots are in the seminal 2008 book, Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth and Happiness, written by Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein. It's about using behavioural, economic and psychological insights to influence our behaviour in order to help achieve policy goals. Now, hardly surprising, Dave Cameron loved it, and when he became Prime Minister in 2010, actually set up a nudge unit in number 10 Downing Street. Initially, it worked on schemes to prompt people to pay their taxes on time, to turn up in court if summonsed, to use job centres more, and even to increase organ donation. All good, do the right thing, you know it makes sense, and help others help themselves sort of stuff. But now, under Boris Johnson, the nudge unit's working closely with the Department of Health and Social Care in crafting the government's response to the pandemic. When stuff was advisory and obviously sensible, hand-washing for as long as it took for you to sing happy birthday, and not face-touching, it was pretty easy. It was a slam dunk. But when it got into edict territory, the biblical stuff of thou shalt not, then it got trickier. In my view, if a measure, a restriction, a new limit on what we can and can't do for our own well-being and the greater good is required, then it should be just that. Do it. Period. A law, not a hint, not a nudge, nor a polite suggestion. A nudge that it might make more sense to do it, or it's for the best, simply isn't enough. So, is it either safe and sensible to go to a Christmas party, or isn't it? And if it isn't, then say it. Spell it out. Don't nudge, and certainly don't give a variety of nudges. As Cass Sunstein, the co-author of the original Nudge book, observes, and I quote, nudges steer people in particular directions, but they also allow them to go their own way. That will be embraced by the libertarians, who just want the government to get its dictatorial tanks off their libertarian lawns. But it will also leave others who genuinely want to do the right thing profoundly confused. So, does nudge still deserve to be a thing? What areas is it appropriate for and which not? Is the pandemic really something where nudge, nudge, do your own thing are appropriate? Do let me know what you think.